starts off.
Sure. Hi, afternoon, Ronald. First of all, can I ask you about Victor Wanyama? How big a blow is it that he's going to be out for 5 matches?
Of course, very disappointed. First of all, for the player by himself, and also for the team, because it's a player, an important key player for the team. He's normally always starting. He's always in the lineup. Okay, but we know. I think it was he was a little bit unlucky. I think I spoke to Victor. In my opinion, that red card was totally different than the second yellow, for example, against Norwich. In my opinion, that was more a stupid fault. Now he was unlucky because his intention was to play the ball. He missed the ball, and the referee took a hard decision. One day later, I saw a tackle from Flamini against Bournemouth, and it was yellow. And maybe that tackle was more red than the tackle of Wanyama. You need to be lucky sometimes, but it's he's suspended for five games, and it's a long time. But we have to accept. And but like in other positions in the team, we have enough competition to replace Victor.
You said he was unlucky in this instance, and he said in interviews as well that he feels he's been unlucky with the other red cards as well. But it is 3 red cards now. Is this something that you perhaps... Have you spoken to Victor about it, and something perhaps he needs to look at himself?
Yes, of course. I spoke to Victor that maybe sometimes it's better to stay on your feet and don't take that risk to play the ball with a tackle. Because if you miss the ball, you know, it looks like a very tough fault and tackle. And he has to learn. He's still young, and I hope that this time he will think about it and he will learn from this tackle, that the next time don't take that risk.
One of his teammates, Maya Yoshida, said although he held on for the win, he said maybe Victor owes the team, he could repay them in buying them some donuts. Do you know if he's done that?
I don't know. It's up to the players.
Just on Maya Yoshida, he's come back in. I mean, he hasn't played in the Premier League since December. He came back in, got a goal. Has he learned from whatever errors he was making earlier in the season, the reason why he hasn't been playing? Has he come back an improved player? Has he learned from previous mistakes?
About?
Yoshida, who's come back in. Has he learned?
Yeah, Maya, of course. Maya is an important player for the team because he can play in different positions in our defense, and every time when he gets a chance, he has a good performance. And it's always up to what kind of system. Of course, every player likes to play every weekend, but that's all about the competition what we have. But in the professional way, Maya is doing well. He's training hard and wait for his chance. And if he play like last week, he had a very good performance. He scored the decisive goal in the match, and that is the answer what you like from the manager's side.
You've had, I think, 5 clean sheets in a row. What do you put that down to? Is that just Fraser Forster coming back and being in fantastic form, or is it the defensive unit altogether that's operating at peak level at the moment?
Yes, of course. Fraser Forster has an impact in that 5 clean sheets, but in my opinion, it's the whole defensive organization, and defending starts in front. It starts by the defenders. No, the whole team needs to work hard. The whole team needs to do good pressing, and we had a fantastic organization by 11 against 10 against West Ham, because West Ham didn't create any chance, and that was outstanding.
Although Fraser has come back in and been in good form, how impressed have you been with that form? Bearing in mind he's come back off that injury and come straight back in and look like he hasn't been away.
Of course, I know what kind of goalkeeper is Fraser, but always if the player, or in this situation the goalkeeper, is out for 9-10 months, you're not sure how he come back, or you're not sure if he's straight in and to have that level, and that surprised me that he was out for a long time, and from the start when he started playing, he was like before, and that's a great compliment first to the player, but also to the medical staff, because the player was back in full of condition, and of course game time. It's difficult, but maybe it's for goalkeepers maybe a little bit different than for field players.
He's playing against Swansea, who've had a difficult season so far, but they've got a new man in, Guidolin's coming. Have you noticed anything in the short amount of time that he's been there that suggests that he's perhaps brought a little more stability to Swansea? Are they doing anything different?
Yes, of course. I think they do something different, because now at the moment they play a different system that normally Swansea played out. Was always 4-3-3 system, good football, building up from the back, and a little bit similar what we like to do. And with the new manager, you can expect changes in the team. They play out of a 4-4-2 system now. They have some new players. Okay, we have enough information to prepare ourselves for this Saturday.
Do you think they're a better team now than they were perhaps when you played them before?
That's difficult to compare, because it's a different manager, it's a different style of playing. Swansea had and were very successful in the way how they did in the Premier League, and now from the start in the season they had more difficulties, but that's football.
Just a couple more from me, just on general terms that we're asking all managers in press conferences. To the top of the Premier League, we're seeing Leicester still having this incredible season, 5 points clear at the moment, with not too many games to go. Do you look at them and think, yep, this team can go all the way?
Yes. I think they can continue like this, because they are still playing with an unbelievable spirit, and if I watch Leicester, still out of a lot of freshness in the players, and they have a strong bench, they have good players, and they have strikers who can score the goals. And if you are so long now during this season on the top of the league, and if you beat Man City in the way how they beat Man City, then everybody can expect Leicester till the end of the season fighting for the title.
And is it just a matter of them continuing to do what they've done throughout the whole season, or when those pressure games come towards the end, will they perhaps have to change the way they play at all?
Yeah, but maybe in the end of the season, if they are very close to win something really big title, then maybe they will become a little bit more nervous than at the moment. But still, the pressure is for the big teams. The pressure is for Arsenal, and they can still play out of that pressure, and that's up to the big ones. And because it will be fantastic for the Premier League if Leicester can win the title. That will be fantastic.
Thank you.
Ronald, because Swansea are playing 4-4-2, does that mean you're better suited to playing three at the back again?
I think you can play against every system with three at the back, but in detail you have to change a little bit your tactics. And of course, if they play with two in front, I prefer to play with three at the back.
And we've talked about the negative of Victor Wanyama's red card. How positive did you find the reaction from the other 10 on the pitch to with that final half hour?
No, that was outstanding, because it was a difficult moment in the game, 11 against 10, not for 10 minutes, but really for more than 40 minutes, and we had a good defensive organization. Everybody was running so much to keep the organization and to press the opponents, and still in our counter-attack we had the two best chances in the game to score the second one, and that was outstanding, because they had not really that space, and they didn't create something. Was a big chance for them.
And are we seeing the reasons why you bought Jordi Classy in the summer? Is he beginning to flourish?
Yes, but I knew before because I had Jordi in Feyenoord in my first season when he played on loan for a smaller club in the first division in Holland. He needs time. He needs time to adapt. He needs time to get really that physical to play every weekend 90 minutes or even every week 3 games, and that takes 1 year for him. I know, but in the games when he started, he did it well. He had good pressing. It's a player who has a good view in the game. In his ball position, he is an important player, and also in his pressing, it's a key player for the midfield, and that's good to have. But I know the second season, still he will be better.
And when you last played Swansea and you won 3-1 at St Mary's, Graziano didn't score, but was a real pain for them. Had a hand in at least 2 of the goals. How much has he benefited from playing last week?
You saw that it was his first match after a long time and he was out. He needs game time. He needs more physically in game time, and that was good because it was after 5-6 weeks, I think, and that's a long time. And he's a type of player who needs game time, and I expect Graziano this weekend on a higher level than he showed last weekend.
Lastly, on Fraser Forster, we've seen the remarkable saves he's making, but how big is his influence before that? How much of a part does he play in the defensive organisation? How vocal is he, and on all of that side? Is that a big part of his role?
Yeah, also that's also his function, and to have good communication to the defenders, and of course. They played also last season together, and they know exactly what they can expect. And Fraser knows what he can expect from the defenders. He played with Virgil, for example, in Celtic. It's not a new place for him, but he's really important for the team. But a lot of credits to the goalkeeper, but the credits also for the rest of the team, who is working hard to keep clean sheets.
Thank you.
Now Wanyama is suspended for 5 games. How do you see the role of Claessy in the coming weeks?
He's always one of the options for our midfield. And we know when we don't have Wanyama, we have Oriol, we have Claessy, we have Brownsea, are players who can replace Wanyama on that position.
Are you pleased with his performances the last couple of weeks?
From? Yes, what I mentioned before, he was important player in our pressing on the midfield, in our ball position on the midfield, and the matches when he started, he played on a good level.
Right, last question about Leroy Fer. He signed by Swansea on loan from QPR. He played the World Cup in 2014 with the Dutch squad. Do you think that he needs to play in the Premier League?
Of course, he needs to play because he's that. I like him as a player. I had him a short term in Feyenoord, a good midfielder, box-to-box player. A little bit unlucky with some injuries, and of course that kind of players. He's still young. They need to play, and of course he came in the middle of the season to Swansea, and that's always difficult to get your chance, to get your opportunity, but it's a very good player.
Thank you guys. Well, in that section there, move on.